my thought was very, very patriarchal, and I really could not connect with the thought of having a, or maybe I did not never had an understanding of how women they feel, or the other gender feels about war. In short, I would just call myself I was a smaller version of a MSP or whatever.
Hi Bobby, studies never interested you. So what kept your brilliant mind occupied?
To say theoretically, yes, I was not into the usual habit of going to the classrooms and just taking the textbook reading. So I would talk something about a word called mental health, which wasn't there when we were growing up. So I was a child who was, I would say, in the category of being an ADHD.
Okay.
My childhood was not into the books for the rest of the kids in the class like they used to behave. But yes, I was very curious to learn. So maybe I would say the textbook reading was not my cup of tea, and maybe I couldn't even read an entire book when my kids used to do it in a day or 2 or 3 days. I would not even finish a page or two. So yes, the classroom teaching and the conventional way of teaching wasn't my cup of tea.
Had your parents known, would the struggle have been less?
The trouble of identifying or not identifying is when you know the cause of the problem. For general kids, it's like a disobedient child growing up and not wanting to listen to his teachers, not wanting to listen to anyone. Maybe the energy levels were too high, and nobody actually thought on those times that it could be actually some kind of extra energy consequences. So they had a when we were growing up, our parents had a different therapy for that. We used to call it the chitter therapy. So when the kids were not listening to parents, the only treatment was
Don't spare the rod.
exactly. So that was the thing. So they never. I don't blame my parents for it, because they were going through their own struggles in their own life. When I was growing up, 80s, the world was very different. So they had, two kids for them growing up. They had their own responsibilities. Even the teachers weren't aware. So I think that even society didn't know about anything called mental health at that point in time. So I would not blame anybody for it. So maybe we would actually give it too much of science now that all the research happening and all these studies happening. Now we identified that it's just one aspect of growing, and maybe something to relate with the energy.
Interesting parenting model. Tell us something about your business initiation.
My grandfather, maybe all his again brothers and sisters, they were all into construction business. So my father really wanted me to become a civil engineer.
Right.
And I was forced to take sciences as a subject, which I could just manage, but like I call myself, das come do fail. So das come do fail would be, at 8th standard, maybe I stopped reading the textbook, but I became more of a guy who was just wanting to pass the class and manage to just hang out there and keep climbing the numbers in the class. And the focus was completely off. He knew it right from day one that in spite of all the chitta therapies and all the pressures and all the, so then maybe he was smart enough. So, so he basically used the incentive model to lure me into understanding that, money is important in life. So when I was having my summer vacations and I was not going to school, so he used to offer me, okay, you come to the site, work, I'm going to give you $50 every day. So, and $50 was a lot of money at that point in time. So maybe he created a kind of, atmosphere or ecosystem where he wanted me to realize the value of earning money, and that was by luring me for that 50 bucks every day I used to get, because that point in time it was real. So there was a lot of money to, like 50 bucks in the 80s, imagine, you could do anything and everything.
You did civil engineering, whereas you were struggling to be civil.
Tactics, and that didn't work. So he found another model to, just get me into working for him, which I eventually did not work for him.
Eventually didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work because I couldn't. My problem was like I was breaking too many rules, and that wasn't fitting in the conventional model of either the father and the son, or maybe the society and as a human being.
Was your father preparing you for life or secretly tiring you?
A little bit of both of it. So he just wanted me to be prepared. So I would give a very small example. He used to make me, for that 50 bucks, he used to make me sit at 45 degree of summer heat in the sun, looking after the construction, chasing the labels, and try to do things which actually was frustrating me in life. But I would say it was creating more of a resilience and maybe it's just actually preparing me to see what exactly and how cruel and harsh the world is. And the first step was like stepping out of the air-conditioned room and my luxury of watching movies on a VCR or a VCD or what as a kid we used to do and just play the whole day.
Yeah.
So he wanted me to get out of this and understand that the money wasn't coming for free and easy. Maybe there was a.
Did that lesson stay with you?
Of course. So once you are very young and you just taste the money, and I would say for me, I was very lucky in life that everything had fallen for me at the right place at the right time. So I could made a shitload of money. I could actually enjoy my life. I actually was able to do anything and everything which my mind told me to do. And I would say in the right age.
You said you were a teenager till 40. What does a 40-year-old teenager look like?
Say my inner child is still very active and I did not let it die. Not even at 40, I would say at 52, I'm still the same inner child with so much of curiosity of doing things here and there. So maybe the art of growing is just not let yourself as an individual die. Let people say you're getting old, let people say anything in life. But what I see the problem in this society with my friends, they somehow want to grow up so fast that in the 40s they want to be 60s. With the grey hair coming on the body, they would say that I know everything. And Indians हमें लोगों को बहुत समझाना और ज्ञान देना आता है. So that's what we generally do in life. So my thing was to keep Bobby the way he was as a childhood. Yes, I've grown up. I would say I have evolved. Maybe I was just trying to be judge of my own life. But I would say, yeah, I've making every small possible effort of being the same what I was, but still add some more value to my life as a person at 50.
One visit to a friend in America changed things. What happened?
He moved to USA and then I was visiting him, and unfortunately, on the first day, I would just like to tell you a little story that we were out clubbing and the wives had gone to Disneyland, and as usual, those drinking days, we were reliving what we used to do in childhood, and we drank a lot. And then fortunately or unfortunately, we were caught by the cops, and my friend was given a DUI. So that's called driving under influence in America, and it changed his life in a way that he had to quit alcohol, or otherwise he really wouldn't have survived in America. So that trip I came back, and then when in the next 6 months I went back again, I saw a very different kind of Bobby, which I somehow could not relate when I first met him. So he told me, when you're coming to my house, please make sure you're not drinking. And then I said, then what am I going to come here and do in America if I'm not drinking? That he's undergoing a program which is called Alcohol Anonymous, and then he can't be drinking, and he was trying to quit. So then I called his wife, dude, what am I going to do? Come and do in America if I am not drinking? And even I was going through a very bad patch of time. I had lost my father. It was my 48th birthday. I wasn't in a mood to celebrate. So my better half told me that, why don't you go to America to your friend and just spend some time with him? So I asked his wife, what am I going to come and do here? So he said, oh, ignore him. We're going to drink and have a good party. Let him be the sober one. Yes, I was drinking there, and then, but as a friend, it's a curriculum of going to the Alcohol Anonymous class every day. So I used to just go and sit with him, along with him, in that very, whatever you call it, the group, or the group of alcoholics or Anonymous. And that was one of the turning points of my life too. So one Gyan or Funda I give a lot of Gyan and Fundas to people, even if they don't want to take it.
Like old Indians, as you said.
No, not the old Indians. So, yeah, you're correct, but not the old Indians. But my Gyan is like not the ones that everybody is giving. So I keep telling people, alcohol is only for good times. So if you are drinking alcohol and things are not going well for you as in terms of your family, your business, or any other problem in life, God save you. Because alcohol is going to drown you on those bad days of your life.
After your father passed away, did the lesson he was trying to teach you reverberate in your mind?
That you should not take risk when your father is not there in life. So that was the kind of change I had to bring in my mind, remembering him, that yes, my risk-taking capacity and my pangas which I used to take in my life, I still do that. But yes, I know that when your father and your backing is not there, you really have to be mindful and truthful to yourself, because I have a responsibility of a family and a responsibility towards myself and the society. Yes, all his words still echo in my mind, and maybe I remember him much more than I would ever thought I will do that. Punjabi version है, घर दा जोगी जोगड़ा, बाहर दा जोगी सिद्ध. आहो. तो पंजाबी कहते हैं कि घर वाले वही गल 25 बारी कहन, तो किसी को समझ नहीं आती, and then बाहर वाला कोई आए तो लोग कहते हैं यार wow, what a saying. My thought was very patriarchal, and I really could not connect with the thought of having or maybe I never had an understanding of how women they feel. I like to be a better version of myself, especially in terms of being more reasonable in my thought.
Bobby, it's called spirit without spirit. Basically, the pun on alcohol. It's first answer which comes to your mind. You don't have to deliberate too much. The first question is the biggest lie that is told after 2 drinks.
The biggest lie every alcoholic or the man would say is, dude, I'm completely in control. I am not an alcoholic. I can handle my drinks and I can handle myself, and I know how I can behave in the society and with
The
friends.
funniest excuse you've heard for drinking.
Funniest excuse was drinking is, I deserve the drink because I had a bad day or my life sucks.
One superpower that alcohol gives everyone that evening and disappears next morning.
Yes. Should I say?
Yeah.
Oh, after a couple of drinks, especially 2, everybody is a Superman. I can do this, I can do that, I'm in control, I can fix anything in the world. And mornings, you're completely in the basement. But dude, I'm telling you, the mistakes you make are unforgettable. I used to say one thing, कहते दंड है तो दाने नहीं, तो दाने हैं तो दंड नहीं. So once you start getting the frenzy of making money, you do have the dane or the food, but you don't have the teeth. But when you have the teeth, you are very busy making money.
Life counts beginnings.
Welcome to Studio 50 Plus.